Okay, so this analogy may not hang together really well, but play with me for a minute. This past weekend, the missus and I went to visit elder son and his wife in the big city. It was marvelous. We saw a show, went for walks, played with their dog, just enjoyed one another's company. And on Saturday night, we went out for sushi. I love sushi. And in case you don't know, there are no sushi places in Elmore. In fact, the stuff they sell at the Megamart up the road, I'm not sure that could be classified as sushi either, the way it just lays there in the deli case for what seems like weeks at a time. So it's a treat when we get to go to the big city and we get to enjoy the real thing. I must admit, I wasn't always so open to the idea. The first time I tried it, over 20 years ago now, it was at the behest of a client. We were going out to dinner, and she got to pick the place, and it was a sushi bar. The reason I tried it was because she was the client, she got to pick the place, and it was a sushi bar. My job was to be supportive and pick up the tab, which I did. But you know what? I loved it. So I tried it again, and again. And I tried different forms and different recipes, and I loved them too. In fact, the more I ate of it, the more I developed a taste for it. So when elder son said, "What would you like for dinner?" I didn't even hesitate. When in the big city, eat good sushi. That's my rule, and my delight. So here's the theological tie. I think that I think that all people respond, at least initially, to God's grace in the same way that they respond to sushi, as a foreign substance that we're not really sure what to do with, and as interesting as it sounds, we're not really sure that we want. Oh yeah, unmitigated forgiveness and love, those things sound like great ideas, but we've been raised with some old sayings rolling around in our heads, things like appreciating only what you work for, and there's no such thing as a free lunch. Well, we figure the same logic applies to God. So grace has to be some kind of divine come-on, God's lost leader to get you in the door. Later on, when you find out the real price, you'll have a stomachache the size of a dragon roll. Turns out, however, not to be the case. God is different from us. Big surprise. And God's ways of doing things are different too. There are no hidden agendas, no extra fees, no gas pains to be burped out later. Life, love, mercy, forgiveness, these are honest-to-goodness gifts that come with no strings attached, unless we in our sinfulness want to attach them. God just wants to give us these good things, and he wants us to take him at his word. When we finally do, we'll find out that grace is pretty good stuff indeed. And as we continue to sample it, we'll find that it enriches our lives and our experience in ways that we never dreamed possible. All we have to do is take that first bite. If it helps, you can close your eyes and say a prayer first. That's probably a good idea anyway. But really, you're going to love it. And you're going to want to come back for more. So grab your chopsticks, pour out a little soy sauce, dip into the wasabi, and let thanks be to God. This is good stuff.